everyone! Welcome to the Star Wars The Old Republic 7-9 Legacy Reborn developer live stream. I'm Jackie, Senior Community Manager.
Eric Musco, Game Director.
Yeah, we made it to the finale! Yes!
I was told no fans. I wasn't told that.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about today. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Before we start talking about Legacy Reborn, just a little bit of a reminder in that upper right-hand corner on your screen, there's an active Twitch drop right now.
Unless we're mirrored and then over there. I don't know.
Are we mirrored? We're not mirrored. It's over here. Wait, no, it's over here.
No, you have it.
It's over here.
Was it this way?
Okay. Whatever. In one of the corners on your screen.
You will exit to the left. Don't exit.
Don't exit. It's raining right now. You're going to watch 1 hour of live SWTOR content on Twitch, and you're going to earn a poster decoration. In order to do that, make sure that you link your accounts on SWTOR.com and Twitch. That way you can start accumulating progress, getting towards this wonderful poster decoration.
So
yeah,
cool.
it's
So
Dantooine, cool. But it's the wreckage on Dantooine.
Correct.
Art.
The Dantooine, what is it? The
Crash site.
Crash site post.
Two practice
We say
runs.
wreckage on Dantooine a whole bunch today in other places, and so it's stuck in our head.
And then at 7.9, game update 7.9 launch proper, you're going to get a beautiful Nightshade Hussis mount.
Nightshade Hussis.
Hussis. What is the plural of that?
Hissises.
Yep. But in order to get this mount, you have to watch 4 hours.
This is his mount.
Okay.
The drops are every live stream.
So just as a reminder, because I still get questions every now and then, when we do have active Twitch drops, it's going to happen with every game developer live stream. It's going to happen with every game update launch. Usually for the game update launches, it's anywhere between 4 to 5 hours that you have to watch. But for the poster decorations, it's going to be 1 hour.
And how many was it for the hiss?
4.
Nailed it.
4 hours.
See?
Okay, we're done. I promise. All right, let's get
promise?
into my...
She promises.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I didn't say I was done.
How about you talk about what we're going to be talking about today?
I will. So we are here because it's the finale of Legacy of the Sith. The Legacy Reborn storyline. Ashley is going to join me. Apparently I can't talk. Ashley is going to join me, and we're going to talk about what's up in Legacy Reborn. Kind of. We obviously can't spoil too much. But Ashley's going to join me. We're going to talk about what's up in Legacy Reborn. So very excited. And then Joe's going to join me. We're going to talk through a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to talk about some quality of life updates that we have, the next PvP season, Honor and Battle, the return of Nar Shaddaa Nightlife. Very excited. What's coming to the cartel market? We have some very cool stuff to show you there. There's some very cool things there. Galactic Season 11, I'll remind you here, and probably multiple times when we talk about it. Galactic Season 10 is live right now, but we're going to be talking about 8.0 spoiler for, in a couple bullets. We're going to be talking about 8.0 with Keith. And so we just aren't going to have a 791 dedicated live stream. So we're going to tell you what's coming a little bit in Galactic Season 11. Reminder, that's in 791. So we're going to show you some of that stuff as well.
Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to have a live stream.
Correct.
Just not specifically about 791.
Right. After today, it's all going to be about 8.0.
Yeah, baby.
So that means we're not going to have a 791 live stream specifically. And then Keith is going to join me. We're going to update you again on what's kind of happening with DirectX 12. Just as a note, that's going to be mostly around the things that was in the article that we already talked about, but just kind of we'll rehash some of the things that we've talked about there. And then as we mentioned last time, we're going to give you some first details on that 8.0 update. So stay tuned as Keith joins me. Now I can't do S's. Apparently I've used my quota of S's today. So we're going to have FERT detailed on 8.0. Hiss.
Okay, we have one more slide to get to.
Update on story. We've seen this slide a few times in the last few streams, and it's kind of the same story today. So for 7.9, we're in the same situation we were previously, where we'll be launching, story will be coming out, but for French and German players, it's going to be available with English voice. French and German will be available in subtitles. We still don't have any further information on where we are. As soon as we have more details to share on when we'll be launching with French and German VO. I promise we'll share those details. Just don't have any more information today. But again, it will be coming out and available for French and German, just with English voices and French and German subtitles at launch. So as soon as we have more details to share, we will do so. Promise.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Jackie.
I didn't hit you with it.
Nope.
Ashley's coming on next.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
The Hissis is on Saturday.
Hello. I'm here now.
And who are you, Ashley?
I am Ashley Rule. I'm the narrative director. So I think we'll be talking about some story stuff.
That seems like we will be. What story stuff are we talking about today?
We are talking about Legacy Reborn, which is the finale of the Legacy of the Sith story. Just going to say up top, spoilers if you haven't played Masters Enigma, the update that came out in 781. We're going to be touching on some things immediately that just happened because it's basically right after. So keep that in mind. And if you want, skip ahead 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the finale, so, I mean, if you haven't played any of 7.0,
none of this will make any sense.
None of this will make any sense, and you probably should pause and go play all of it before the finale. And also don't listen to us for the next few minutes.
Yeah.
Because we're going to spoil it.
Let's jump into it.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
So, not going to give a ton of details of what Legacy Reborn is, because obviously it's a finale. But we are going to Karshion.
Oh, yeah.
So we're basically everything is coming to a head at Karshion. Darth Jadis has taken the holocron from you, and with the help of a traitorous ally, we have lots of feelings about that.
Sure do.
And the Hidden Chain has rebuilt Darth Null's machine that you saw from the Disorder trailer and the smaller one that was on the Hidden Chain ship. They built the big one on Karshion.
The thing that I love about this, and we played the Disorder trailer right before the stream happens, but you should really just go watch it again, because what I think is cool, here we are at the finale, but I mean, obviously, this was the setup. We kicked this can or boulder down the hill, I'm bad at metaphors today, at the very beginning, right? There's a big machine, the big machine is there with Malgus walking up to it, out of that machine pops a holocron, and here we are at the finale, and when you know it, boy, there's a big machine, and that holocron is going there, and so is Malgus.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Sure does.
So not only is Jadis and the Hidden Chain going to be on Karshion, Shea Vizsla and Malgus also know where Karshion. Everyone's on Karshion, and the player's going to Karshion. So we're all going to Karshion.
We sure are. Can you tell us a little bit about Karshion?
Yeah. So Karshion, you may have seen in around Star Wars, but it was the home of a fortress of Naga Sadow. And we might be exploring some of Naga Sadow's history on Karshion, which is going to be super cool. Let's take a look at some of the interiors and parts of Karshion.
Very cool. Oh, so good.
My favorite is the statues. Yeah, you can't have a big, cool Sith fortress without big statues of yourself.
They always do that. All the Sith Lords always love big statues. From like the very beginning on Korriban, you just walk out and you're like, look at all those big statues every time.
Another thing we want to talk about today is we're doing something a little different, adding some things in this story update. The gameplay is going to be it's going to be, what you're used to, but we're going to add some sections to it. Because this is a big battle, it's a big confrontation with lots of different moving parts in it. We wanted to create segments within the story where you're not only seeing the perspective of your allies, but you're also playing as them.
Right. And this isn't just the same as like when we've had story throughout our game always, right? You've gotten to see it from different perspectives of like, oh, I need to go get around and get to that terminal, so I'm going to control a mouse droid. You're not talking about that.
No. We're talking about like people that you're very familiar with, your allies, your friends, and they've got, they're just looking cool. So you get to be them as you're playing through the story. And
you have an example?
Yes, we do have an example. Thank you, Musco. So one of the people you're going to play as is Lana. We don't have it shown here, but Lana has her own suite of abilities that make her super cool. And you get to roll around with T7 or Theron if he's still around. And we're not going to tell you where this happens in the story, but you get to play as Lana for a little bit and just own face as a Sith.
Yeah, one of the things I'm definitely most excited about in 7.9 is that not only, of course, are you going to play as your own character as you go through the full extent of Legacy Reborn, but that we're going to give you opportunities to play through a lot of unique other
experiences.
As well. Perspectives.
Yeah. And it's not just, single person like combat. There are some really interesting, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's some really cool experiences that you get with the different perspectives.
Yep.
Okay. That's as much. I want to say more words, but I can't
Right.
say any more words.
Right. You got to experience it, play it.
Yeah. And to let you know who's going to be along with you on the journey, the ride or dies, Lana and Theron are going to be there if Theron's still around. But they are your main supporters in all of this and trying to figure out what Jadis is up to, what Malgus is going to do, what Shay's going to do, and like stopping the hidden chain. There's a lot, but they're with you 100%.
Yep.
Next up, we have the Mandalorians that have been loyal to Mandalore up to this point. We'll be working a lot with Jakaya and Ras Ordo, as well as Lane Vizsla.
Yeah. Why would she be around?
I know. It could be that she was working on something like super special that could be relevant in a battle. I don't know.
Yeah. Her technology would certainly come in handy right now. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On the Republic side, we have Arn Peralin, Jedi Knight. Who is just with us at the end of Master's Enigma, and so basically coming into this moment, he is at your side as we approach Karshian.
Yeah, what's going on, Arn?
And then on the Imperial side, we have Major Henri. Same deal. They're with you until the end. We have Darth Jadis. Darth Jadis is returning, and he's. It's interesting to think about. We've got Darth Jadis, we've got Darth Malgus, we've got Hedda Cole. There's a lot of different pieces here to see how they're all going to line up and what everybody's priorities and goals are in this scene. But Jadis is controlling a lot of those pieces, so we'll see what he does with them.
Yep, classic Jadis.
Mm-hmm. And finally, we are going to see Darth Malgus and Shay Vizsla and her whole crew from the breakout at the fleet, the Shay team, as we have called them. So they're all coming to Karshian as well.
Yeah, because of course, Malgus is the one that kind of quite literally kicked a door in to begin breaking of the chains. And so we have to see through what happens.
Yes, yeah. Malgus is the center of all of this, so we'll see what he does when he gets there.
Yeah.
Just wrecks shop and bulldozes through everybody.
Yeah, and how you as the player decide what goes on around as well.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, that's all I want to say about story, because I don't want to spoil anything.
We certainly want to say much more.
It's so good. I'm so excited for y'all. It is so incredible that we are at this point where you get to see Legacy of the Sith in its entirety, all the pieces, all the story, all the character growth. and see it all come together. And we're really excited for y'all to get to play this and see all the love that the team has put into it.
Yep. So jump in.
Yeah, but that's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley.
Bye.
And I am now joined by...
Joe Stramaglia, Senior Systems Designer.
Welcome back, Joe. Look, we got a tradition around here, which is that you and I have the longest title slates of all time, and we don't read them.
Every time. Yeah, I don't think we need to read it. Y'all can read. You can read it,
you
right?
can read, and so I think tradition must stay tradition, and so we're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep
Just
going.
drive right past it.
We'll just drive right past it. Next. Okay, first up, we got some quality of life updates for the Dantooine encounters on Wreckage on Dantooine. So a couple things. We've made a few quality of life updates kind of across the zone. So first thing is we've made some updates to the intro mission. Really wanted to focus on kind of how we get you onboarded into the zone. So first, some cleaner onboarding just to give you a better sense of how the zone works for things like how the hazards work. And also, if you've played it once, we want to give you the ability to skip past it on subsequent plays. This way you go, look, I know how to play. I don't want to do this again. Cool, you can skip past it. Second thing we've seen based on the feedback is some of you may go, I don't want to have to play the orbital core mission. I'm just not interested in that group play. So let me play by myself. Or you don't think you'll be good enough at some point to play it, or whatever it may be. That's okay. So we're actually going to separate those two things. There's the Wreckage on Dantooine wrapper mission, the one that kind of takes you through the entirety of Wreckage on Dantooine. And then there is that orbital core end mission. We're going to separate those two things. So this way you will be able to complete the entirety of Wreckage on Dantooine without having to complete Orbital Core, and then Orbital Core will be its own separate mission. So those will be two separate things.
Finally, a clean mission log.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for those of you who are like, please get this out of my mission log. We know some of you are very, want to have that nice clean one. Last one. We've reduced the requirements for zone progression. So this means the ability to kind of level up through those biomes, going from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and we're actually reducing those requirements to be able to move through those quicker, along with some other changes kind of in line with that to be able to move through the area faster and kind of move through that in a cleaner way. There's a whole bunch of details kind of nested in all of this that I'm not talking through, so please make sure to read through the patch notes to kind of understand how all of this works, but some good quality of life coming to Wreckage on Dantooine. Next one. Okay, the Companion Return Terminal. So effectively what we've done is we've taken the Companion Return Terminal and we're going to move it and lift it into your companions and contacts window. So effectively what that means is every companion that would normally go away from you and get removed either for normal story progression. So that's like when you hit the point of the story in Kotfi as an example, where you get encased in carbonite and all your companions are gone. Or you have a choice that happens where you choose to kill a companion or exile or not recruit them. You have those companions that just become unavailable to you. Now, the trick with our game, right, is that those are narrative reasons why those companions aren't available to you. But our companions also have gameplay impact, right? That companion might be your favorite companion to just bring with you all the time, when you're out in the field doing your dailies or whatever, or you might use them for crew skills or whatever it might be. And so the Companion Return Terminal existed so that a player could go, well, but I still wanted to have, Temple on my agent or whatever. And so you could just go to the terminal and bring them back. However, the companion return terminal is a little tricky because you had to know that it existed at all and know where it was and how to interact with it. Like if I said, hey, Joe, I'll give you $100 in 10 minutes to go use the return terminal. Could you do it? Maybe.
Not use it. I thought you were going to ask me where it was because I prepared for that. But
Yeah, right? It's like, it's kind of a tricky experience. And so in this way, one, it kind of removes that barrier from players because now it just puts it right in their companions and contacts window where you would expect those companions to be. And so for some of you, you may go, hey, I'm a true diehard narrative player. I made that choice to kill that companion. I want it to be a natural play where those companions left me. I don't want to bring them out or have to worry about them. Cool. That ineligible for story category, just leave it collapse and you never have to bring them out again. There will still be some of the same kind of interactivity that happens as if a companion was returned through the terminal. So you should expect that because the game still operates as if they are gone. But that's what we've done. This way, the return terminal doesn't work anymore. If you go up to it, it'll just say, hey, go check your contacts list because that's where they are. But we've just kind of taken that out of the equation. We just do the work for you now. So the choice is now whether you want to summon them or not whether you know where a terminal is. Next PvP season, Honor in Battle.
Honor in Battle.
Yeah.
Yep. It's coming out 7.9 launch. It was going to run for 16 weeks, just like all of our other ones have. And also, just like our other ones, there's new rewards to earn.
Yeah, love it. I'm sensing a theme already, but I'm sure we're going to hear that a lot more as we go through the next pieces.
Yep, so we're going to have some new armor sets, and we're not going to show them to you just yet, but we'll have an article later on that shows off the new armors.
Yep.
There's going to be 2 themed decorations as well. There's going to be some new titles, Honorable by Nature and The Loyal, and the flares, which we will show you here in a second, Nightly Dark and Nightly Light. This is a very nightly themed season in general.
Yeah, and so you should expect that the armor set is also going to be, think of that kind of like metal Space Knight kind of armor set as you'll kind of get that vibe from everything that we've talked about already.
Exactly. And there they are. Look at these beautiful flares.
Yep. And just so we're clear on what you're seeing, the helmet that you can see that is inside of that flare is not the armor set. That's just some.
It's not the armor set.
That's not the armor set. That's just some armor
that's old stuff.
Don't
worry about it.
That's just whatever the person was wearing that took the screenshot. So the flare is what you should focus on here.
And we're going to have new achievements. Well, the same achievements that we've had for every PvP season, but the season 10 version of them. So completing all the achievements get you that Prodigy achievement, the Arena Advocator, the Finisher, All-Star Medalist, and Warzone Warrior. So go and play PvP, and you'll kind of progress through those naturally.
Love it.
And the Narshadon Nightlife.
Yeah,
it's coming back.
Coming back, and it'll have new rewards as well for players to earn some new decos.
That's true. They'll be coming from the Emperor's Grace machines, and once again, we'll have some more details. You'll be able to see what these look like closer to the event. We just, talking about them early. It's coming out on June 30th, so keep an eye out for that.
Yep. Stay tuned as always for our website for articles and stuff to share details. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some cartel market stuff. So this one, kind of like our last stream, right after 781, so didn't talk about this on our last stream, we had some stuff coming out that was inspired by the mall show. So this was our Bionic Overlord armor set. Man.
Love those metal legs.
Love them. So good. So good. And then to go along with it, Dark Infiltrator sabers. We had both single and dual sabers as well. Also inspired by the show. And also alongside it, we had some dyes.
Red dye.
Every time, yes, red. I read it because every single time I tried to say this when we were rehearsing it, I just kept messing it up. So it's just red dyes. Red dyes.
Metal matte and matte metal.
Thank you. See, you got it. I don't know why, for some reason, I'm incapable of saying what names of dyes are. But again, like before, y'all can read, so you got it. New Master of the Fight. Came out, so it's the Cargo Transport Edition. Like the typical Master of the Fight, comes with 6 months of sub along with a boatload of cartel coins, and reminder you get additional cartel coins alongside your sub. What makes this one special is it's in the name. Comes with cargo, so it comes with personal cargo, guild, and legacy, along with that matching mini pet. Cool thing as well as the mount also always comes with a flourish as well, which we'll show you in a second. And dies. Oh, see? I always forgot
See,
the
more
dies.
dies.
No, it's gonna be more dies. It's always dies. I'm missing the dies today. So here's the mount.
This is such a cool one. I love
this
that flourish.
Yeah.
So cool.
So good. And then, of course, here are the actual cargo hold, guild bank, and legacy cargo hold. They match the color scheme that you would expect to see on top of the individual storage bays as well. These also animate and have VFX. If they were animated, you kind of see what that would look like based on kind of the pop-out terminals that you see here.
These are some of the coolest ones that we've done so far.
I think so,
really
too.
like the
Yeah.
VFX.
These guys look awesome. And there's the dice.
Gray, green, vulcanized, and not vulcanized, I guess. Or are they both vulcanized? I can't actually tell.
They're both vulcanized, but it's just which color is vulcanized, I think. You're here for the dye colors. You're here for the dye colors. Oh, okay. So we just mentioned Naga Sadao. Imagine that. We have Naga Sadao's Fortress Blades. So this is going to be Naga Sadao's Blade and Naga Sadao's Blade Staff. So what is amazing about this is that Naga Sadao's Blade will, obviously it has emissive lights in it, based on your color crystal. And as you move and swing, it will actually kind of emit that light, which is something we have never done before, I don't believe. So beyond just it being absolutely an incredible weapon, I think this is honestly maybe the most excited I've ever been about a weapon, because I personally love like the blade style, like sword blade style weapons. The fact that it has something really unique like that kind of emissive light inside of it. And we have some other amazing weapons to show you today too, so hold on. But God, this thing is so cool. Both of them. I shouldn't say one, because there's two of them.
It's so sharp looking.
Yeah.
It's the sharpest looking blade I think we have.
Yeah. And totally no reason we would be building Naga Sadao's Fortress Blades. But really cool. Really, really cool. Next up, there's definitely never forget that there's a Star Wars,
just a little movie.
Yeah, a little movie coming out on the forefront. And so alongside that, we have a weapon set inspired by Mando and Grogu. And so first up, we have the blaster pistol, blaster rifle, and sniper rifle. The blaster rifle and sniper rifle have an animation that plays as you kind of bring it out. And that will, all these, you can see kind of the light emission that's coming out of it. That's based on the color crystal inside of it, I believe, as well. So these guys are just, again, beautiful weapon set pulled out of those. And then, not to be outdone, you got Pit Fighter blades, again inspired by Mando and Grogu. Both of these will kind of animate and extend the blades when you equip them, and you can see the beautiful effect that's going on inside of there, which again dictated by color from the color crystal as well. So awesome weapons.
I love viral blades. So awesome to get some more of them.
Same.
Plus more at launch.
Plus more at launch. Oh yeah, correct. Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you, Brooks. Yeah, and this is not the only stuff that we have. We have some more stuff coming as well. This is inspired by Mando and Grogu coming as well at launch that we're not showing today. So stay tuned.
So let's talk about Galactic Season 11.
Yeah, let's talk about Galactic 11. So I will do this reminder up front, and I'll do it again at the end. Reminder: this is not in 7.9. This is in 7.9.1. If you want 7.9 Galactic Season, there's one live right now.
Yep, you can play it right now. In fact, if you want to do DVL bosses, now is the only time to do it, because
that's right.
GS11's not going to have it. So
that's right.
If you want DVL stuff, do it now. And it's going to operate similarly. So 10 and 11 both have this sort of bringing back the companions from past seasons. 10 has 1 and 3. That is Alter and Phalanx. And then 11's going to have Fenzale and Amity. And so if you want to get those, maybe you missed one of those seasons, or maybe you really like those particular companions, you're going to have some opportunities to get those rewards you might have missed, and also earn some new rewards based on those companions as well.
Yep. So very, very similar in kind of how we're rotating those. And just in case you forgot who these companions are, this is Fenzale and Amity, which again, these would be the two companions that'll be earnable. Along with, this will be probably a good place to remind these, not only can you get Fenzale and Amity, you can get all of the rewards that were available during 2 and 4, right? So the companions,
all the armors,
their companion customizations, their weapons, right? Like all the stuff that was in those 2 seasons, all together in season
combined
11,
into one,
along with new stuff, right, on top of it.
Yep, here's some of the new stuff. So we got a couple of new customizations for Fenzale, one new customization for Amity that is an armor set that you will also get to wear.
That's right.
We're going to have some new companion mounts, just like the companion mounts that we had in 10. There's going to be some new ones for 11. There's going to be some new stronghold labels, new titles, all the kind of things you've sort of come to expect from a Galactic season, plus all the stuff that we had in the original seasons of 2 and 4.
Yeah, so just the thing that just can't be undersold about seasons 10 and 11 is just, for their value, it is just an astronomical, I can hear the rain hitting the windows outside, just an astronomical amount of rewards, because it's 2 seasons worth of stuff combined, plus additional rewards on top of it. So never been better seasons for you to get in and kind of get stuff. It's crazy.
We're going to update the vendors with previously retired season rewards. And then after 10 and 11 are completed, we are going to find a way to bring the 1 through 4 rewards to the vendors. And we also updated our classic cartel packs in 10 with some new items. We brought out a new weapon pack and added stuff to our mounts, armors, and weapon packs as well for the silver tier. We will be adding some more for season 11 as well. Details to follow.
Take it.
And as a reminder, the objectives for these seasons are using their respective companions. All the rewards from those original seasons are getting released in this new season. The previous achievement-only rewards will have new achievements, and the original achievements will remain tied to their original season.
Yep.
But aside from that, play Season 10 now, and look forward to Season 11 in 791.
Yep. Yeah. And just a reminder, we're doing this today because we won't have a dedicated 791 stream. Everything once we get past today, which is going to be our excellent segue in a second, is that he's going to be joining me.
It's all 8.0.
It's going to be 8.0, right? Once we get past today's stream, which is where we're going to be talking about 7.9, and then it's just past this, it's going to be the 8.0 show, as it were, and so we're going to want to be dedicating time to that and not 791. We will have a dedicated article and all that stuff showing all of the existing season 2 and 4 rewards along with the new stuff, just to make sure you can see it. Not to say we wouldn't take time out of an 8.0 stream to show you some of the new rewards, but definitely wouldn't be a focus of a 791 stream. So we wanted to make sure to focus on that today. So just again, if you want to play Galactic Season 10, there's still time. It runs until the end of June, end of July. Yeah, so there's still plenty of time to get in on season 10 to make sure you do it. But again, season 11, just so there's no confusion, isn't until 791. So
thanks for having me, everybody. I'm going to pass it off to Keith.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe, as always.
See ya.
See ya.
Are we live?
I like how right as he points to you, you're like, oh,
It
what?
says 1, 2, 3. It's when it's counted.
Which number do we go live on again?
I said
And I'm joined by,
me.
that's right, Keith.
I think I said that last time.
I think so.
Better
So
than saying you.
that's true. One thing I am going to note, because I half joked that I said I could hear the rain when Joe was here, and then like fortuitously as Keith sat in the chair, a bunch of lightning and thunder happened. So just in the
It
most
was me. Sorry.
it's Keith.
Okay.
Just in the most fortuitous of ways, I will say it just in case it happens. We don't ever get rain here in Austin, but of course it would happen now. We're getting some good rain and lightning and thunder. So on the off chance that suddenly the stream vanishes, it's probably because we've lost power or something insane has happened. So I don't think it will. It's been pretty fine, but I'm just putting it out there just in case it happens. Someone will tell you in chat that that's what happened, but I'm disclaimering in case.
You're just looking at the lightning.
I know we've seen a little bit of lightning and thunder, so we don't get weather often, but when we do, we keep it exciting. DirectX 12.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of exciting, let's get to the exciting stuff and I'll talk about rain. We get excited about rain here.
well, I think the first thing is there was an article that went out, right?
Yeah.
We call it a blog or we call it an article, right?
You could call it whatever you want.
Whatever.
Yeah,
right?
words on a page.
Words on a page, right?
Words on a page.
Went out and talked about what we were doing with DX12,
That's right.
right? And why we're moving off of DX9. Somebody in chat said, hey, we should upgrade the graphics. Hey, good timing.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like we planted that.
Great idea, person in chat.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Yeah, ultimately,
We're obviously live. We're not taping.
we're gonna hold up a newspaper one of these days.
Well, that won't help because they'll think that we printed it ahead of time.
Someone right now is checking weather in Austin right now.
That's true.
Ultimately, the key is you should go read the article that we put out.
Yep.
If you don't want to read it, go look at the pictures. And then after you look at the pictures, you're going to go, what's going on? And then you're going to have to read the words anyway. But effectively, we're kind of tearing it all down and then rebuilding it from the ground up.
That's right.
And that's what the article is awesome at showing. I think it was a really fun adventure for us to kind of talk through and show is just how video game development is fun and crazy. And so the article, I think, is a really fun adventure in walking you through that and kind of what we're going through with DX12. So
Yeah, well, here's a good summary. It just simply says that we're tearing down all the graphics, right, and rebuilding them in DX12.
Yep.
But what we're going to be working on, at least over the next few months, is continuing that development. In fact, since that article went out, we've actually made a lot of progress since
Yeah,
that time,
right. Yeah, I mean,
So,
articles take time to write and get everybody's eyes on and get published and everything. And so we're obviously continuing to work while different people are writing an article then are working on it. And so our next steps is UI is obviously a big part of that because pictures of a video game is one thing, but you need to be able to clickety-clack the video game to play it. And so
clickety-clack. That's
clickety-clack
good.
the video game, very technical terms here on the stream today. So while we're working on getting the clickety-clack of the video game, UI team's going to love the words that I'm saying after you've been watching the stream. So that's kind of the next big hurdle that we're working on. And then, of course, beyond that, once we get all the clickety-clack and all the other stuff going, you want to know, when do I get to touch it?
But you're not telling them that. You said when we're in a position to do it.
That's what, true. I don't know if I wrote that, but sure.
But it's down the road, right?
It is. And one thing that is worth pointing out is that 8.0.
No, it has
Right.
nothing to do with 8.0.
Right. Yeah. These are different things, right? And so one thing that you'll want to make sure of is pay attention for these announcements and what they mean, right? So, because obviously we're going to be talking about 8.0 shortly. 8.0 testing and technical alpha related to DX12 are
Separated.
They're completely separate things. Yeah, they're unrelated. So make sure to read the DX12 article because that's where all the information is, unless you read the previous slide because we didn't read it to you. And then stay tuned for information in producer letters, SWTOR.com.
Right.
Updates can be on streams, but
There'll be ongoing stuff. And as we get closer to when we're going to do the technical test, we'll open it up for a group of people. We don't know how many yet, right? But the idea is we'll get as many people in on that as possible so we can take that feedback, give it back to the engineering so we make the adjustments.
Yeah.
And then, right.
Yep.
At some point in time in the future, we'll release it. Right?
Yep, that's the idea. So progress ongoing, stuff.
8.0.
Yeah.
Wow. We're finally going to tell them something?
Yeah, I think so.
Says
It
first
it
details.
it does say first
But
details.
didn't we say that last time?
Yeah, did we? I don't know what it said last time. Well, yeah.
Zero details. Yeah, last time.
Did it
right?
say?
So,
Yeah, that's the joke. Yeah,
We're gonna-
yeah. Right. Okay, so I'm gonna go quickly through this slide because we actually had this last time. This was kind of, I think it probably said goals last time. I don't know what it said last time. We probably should have checked. That's almost like we didn't rehearse this, which we did, but whatever. Okay, effectively, this is the goals of what we're trying to achieve with 8.0. We're gonna kick off the next era. Oh, we're gonna kick off the next era of
Yeah,
our
because the
story.
question I asked last time is it the continuation of the same story? Is it a new story?
Yeah,
Your answer was
yes, but
Right.
you weren't supposed to ask that last time because I was going to talk about this time.
Well,
But
there you
actually, on the next slide, even. So you're actually one slide too early. We'll get there, man. So you're at first details already.
hey. that's right.
See, this is why last
It
time
should
was
be
zero
first-
details.
Second details.
You're already going to second details. We want to create new content, gameplay, and systems that appeal to multiple play styles, right? Group, solo, different. And that's actually something you should pay attention for in a couple slides because we're actually going to announce content specifically for two very different play styles.
Especially for something we haven't done in a long time.
Yeah, no, watch out.
Hint.
Keith's dropping hints. And then we also want to celebrate the breadth and depth of SWTOR by powering the content and systems across our game, and that's actually what we're going to talk about first.
Say it again 5 times.
Absolutely not. I didn't even say it once. Did you hear what those words were? 'Cause
Yeah.
they weren't words.
I was reading them and it wasn't what you
it
were
wasn't.
saying.
It definitely wasn't what I said. You know, I said hissis too many times.
That's probably
and it just all fell apart. It was downhill since then, Keith.
I was sitting there going,
it's like it's
not
all
gonna
over.
work.
It's all over. Okay, the next era of SWTOR story. What's your question?
the question was, is it the same story or is it a
Yeah.
continuation or is it a new story?
Before we get there, here's what this slide's going to be today. This slide is going to be when we announced that we were doing 8.0. When you announced that we were doing 8.0,
Yeah.
right?
Back in December.
Back in December, I think what I imagine people thought in their head is, oh, I bet this is in there. I bet this might be in there, right?
Oh, you mean with the guessing?
Yeah, right. People start guessing. This, beyond just like pie in the sky crazy stuff, this slide, we want to cover the stuff that we want to confirm for sure is definitely in 8.0, then you might maybe expect it's going to be in here, right? So let's talk about some of that stuff. So we are obviously going to continue in the next era of SWTOR story. We already talked about that as being one of the goals. Your question being, hey, is it continuing the story that's already there, or is it a new story? This is the question you asked last time that maybe that was first details information.
Right.
And the answer
Like, this
is,
should be second detail.
now you jumping into second details. The answer is yes, it's both, right? It's going to be a little bit of a continuation of what's happening in 7.9. Play it so you know what we're talking about. And then there's also going to have something new. There's also
That was actually my line. I'm going to tell you to play it because you need to finish, right? So you understand what's going to happen in 8.0.
I like how you say it's your line, like there's defined lines
Well,
today.
yeah, it's kind of like, didn't we practice some of this? Right?
I don't know. Oh, also, hey, there's going to be a level cap increase. Because surely if it's a .0,
Does that mean I have to level all my characters again?
look, I don't tell you what to do. I'm not your boss. But yeah, I think
That's true.
That you probably, I have a hunch, Keith, that if we increase the level cap to 85, I can't stop you from leveling all your characters to 85.
Well, that
and
was
you're
the question that was insane.
and you're going to do it anyway. So yes, level cap is going to go up by 5. It's going to go from 80 to 85. So yes, but here's one of the things though. If we're going to increase the level cap to 85, that gives us some room to do some exciting things. And one of those exciting things being we get to have some room for some things around combat balance
Adjustments.
and new abilities. And new abilities like, what if we have something to offer for, say, every discipline?
Every discipline.
Every
You
discipline.
guys hear that?
That's right. So that's what we're looking at for 8.0. And not to be outdone, new gearing system. So,
Okay.
right. Now, your question is, does it mean new? And the answer is yes.
He's going to ask my question for you. What I've been trying to find out is whether or not the gearing system is all, every time we go from one .0 to another .0, we always throw out the gearing system and start over.
Yep.
So my question to them is, are we going to do that same thing all over again after I just learned all that stuff with 7.0? And the answer is,
No.
I
So,
thought you were going to go yes.
well,
Okay, right.
no, right. So, because one of the problems we have, right, is like every time we go .0 to .0, we kind of replace it with something entirely new. And to your point, you've kind of learned how 7.0 works to a degree, right? And the other thing is then there's an expectation of every time players will hit that new 5-level breakpoint or something, it kind of changes and it rolls all over the place. So it is new in that you should expect a departure from what's there, but it's an evolution of what's there because there's good bones in there. But ultimately what we're trying to get to is that what we don't want is someone to hit endgame and go, I have to leave the game to figure out what's going on here, right? We would really just want to make sure that it's a natural, good expression of what's in game. It's a good natural user experience. Correct. Yep. Being key. And so the one thing I will highlight, and this is going to be a theme of both this slide and the next slide, is there is an enormous amount of details for us to go to. Maybe say second details. Maybe say second details.
Maybe even third.
Oh, maybe even third. Oh, let's get excited. Of everything we've talked about in here for us to really break down for what all of these mean. And of course, this is by no means even close to everything that's related to everything that you'd expect in a .0.
You all should be counting how many times he says details.
Oh, you were counting last time.
I know.
But that's not all for today. Now let's talk about the new stuff.
Right.
Let's talk about different play styles. So we talked about one of the things we wanted to hit is make sure that we hit a disparate types of play styles. So let's talk about the play styles over here. Which one should we hit first?
We should hit group playstyles.
I think we should hit that first
I
as
think
well.
they'll be excited about this.
Okay, so first up to announce N operation. We're going to be launching a brand new 3-boss operation, and it's going to launch with both story and veteran modes in 8.0.
Wait, but what about master mode?
Good question. So we absolutely have plans for master mode. It's not coming in 8.0, but we absolutely have plans for it, and so we'll be talking about that.
But we're going to deliver one,
Yep,
right? And they'll be happy with it,
I'm sure they will.
right? And
Yep.
it'll kick their butts.
I mean, that's what operations are for, is for you to bang your heads against as large group content for you to play with your friends as well. Yep. And we're not going to talk today about where the operation is, who the bosses are, any of that stuff, because that's spoilery and that's second details.
Not going to overlap with anything.
Second details. It's not going to overlap with anything like a Venn diagram.
Okay.
Look, the second 8.0 time I've got a reference in. We did it. Second play style for us to talk about. What do you think? Who should we hit on the second one?
I'd say a smaller group towards solo players.
Sure. Okay, so here's the thing for that. And this one we have to be a little delicate on because we definitely don't want to be spoilery with anything. Because again, you haven't played the finale yet. But it's a .0. We have to have a new planet. And so for the new planet coming in 8.0, we're going to be going to the Twi'lek homeworld of Ryloth. And not only we're going there, it's going to be an explorable planet with dynamic encounters across the entire planet.
Fantastic.
Very, very excited to be going to this planet. Now, obviously, as I just said, we can't tell you why you're going to that planet, what exactly is going to be on that planet, what's special about the dynamic encounters.
Chat is going crazy.
We
You
can't.
guys like this idea, I
Yeah.
take it. Right?
We can't tell you much about it, at least not yet. Because again, you might need to, continue playing the story and stay tuned for more details. I don't know what number of details am I up to.
So will any of this be on PTS?
Yes, that's a good question, Keith. The plan is for all this to be on PTS.
Well, there you go. Now you get to find out why you're going to ride
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Right?
You certainly might. And so, again, the thing to highlight is this is, of course, not even close to everything that is in 8.0. This is just the beginning.
Those are spoilers.
Those are spoiler boxes for other stuff. That's the,
We're actually not. We're not going to tell you what they are. We just put the boxes.
we
up,
just put boxes.
Just
there.
to irritate you, just a little bit.
This yellow box. Those are the Keith boxes. Is what those are.
Got to put those up there.
That's what they're there for.
But keep them blank.
Yeah,
right?
there's things under those boxes. This is like top answer on the board. 25. we asked we asked 100.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, we asked 100 chatters, and they've said. Anyway, the key here is this is just the beginning, because again, it's first details.
That's the first.
It's first details. We're so excited for 8.0, what the team is working on, to be able to.
I want to be clear though. It isn't just 3 more things.
It's not.
okay?
That's correct. It is not
right?
actually just.
There's
3
a
more
lot
things.
more stuff, but we just wanted to just tease you a little,
Yeah,
little
we
bit,
wanted-
and there's more.
We wanted to be cheeky. So we're so excited to finally start talking about 8.0. The key for us is we didn't want to talk too much about 8.0 because really it's about a celebration of 7.9.
right.
But at least wanted to get your
Finale.
appetite's a little wetted. Wetted? I don't think that's a word. Is wetted a word? Is it a word?
It is a word.
Nice.
It's like going outside.
It
It's
is.
all wetted out.
I think it's the other. It's with an H. I think it's with an H.
Sorry.
Okay. To your question, will it be on PTS? Yes. The answer is absolutely yes. One of the things that is critically important to us is that we get 8.0 on PTS as soon as possible, to get it in your hands, to get you testing the things that we've told you and all of the things we have not. And so it is certainly our intent.
Is that kind of redundant saying coming months?
Uh,
Because since they're not here now, it must be in the future.
It must be in the future. That's true. Yeah, that's a fair point.
So when in the coming months?
In the summer is our target. It will be.
That's closer.
Yep. So 8.0 will be in the summer. You're really on time frames, this guy.
I'm just trying to help you out. Yes.
8.0 PTS.
PTS.
Correct. 8.0 correct. 8.0 PTS.
Yeah,
Targeting the summer.
8.0 is not coming this
It
summer.
is almost certainly, again, all things subject to change, but certainly our intent that most likely the op will be one of the first things on PTS. And if when op comes, we would certainly, most likely alongside that, have things like level cap increase, at least some element of gearing, maybe some new ability stuff, like all that stuff would be alongside it as well.
And while 8.0 is out in PTS, we may also do the DX12, right? But they're not directly related, right?
Yep.
So, but you may see an additional test
Yep.
happening at that time frame.
And then the key about phased rollout is keep in mind, this is just the things we told you about today. There's a whole other bucket of things that are still remaining in 8.0 that we haven't talked to you about, and that'll be coming later, which we'll be talking about in a second of how we'll talk to you about those things, which is that bullet nailed it. Our next live stream, because once we're past 7-9,
It's all about 8-0.
it's all about 8-0. And so you should remain excited about all the things we haven't told you still yet to come, because it's going to be kind of the same structure of announce thing, talk to you about when it's coming to PTS. We still have so many details to go into about even the things we've told you about today. So very excited about that. And of course, in the meantime, cannot hammer this enough. Please go play the finale. Our team has done some crazy stuff in there. The story is very exciting for you to get set up for 8-0. So the more you get excited about 8-0, go play the finale so you know what's
I
up.
saw a comment in the chat that says he hasn't played any of it. He's looking forward to starting from 7-0
Oh yeah,
all the
yeah,
way through
yeah.
7-9.
Binge the season to get to
Binge
the end.
all of it?
Yeah. I know you
a lot
all.
of
I know you
playthroughs.
also saw a very important thing, which was we didn't know Malgus's birthday, and I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's a fair question. You might find out in the finale, so you probably should play so you can figure that out.
It could be in there,
It could be in there. Yeah. Maybe that's what was in the machine all along. Maybe Malgus also didn't know his birthday.
right?
It's a cake.
Back to the future. Huh?
We shouldn't be on the stream together this long. Okay. May the 4th is coming up. It's Star Wars Day. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I don't know what day it is. It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow is May
Everyone's nodding yes at me. Tomorrow is May 1st.
Monday is the 4th.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you know what day it is. So that means starting tomorrow, all the way through the 22nd, celebrate Star Wars Day with us. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff going on. Double XP, collection sale, inspired by stuff is on sale. And we'll have new stuff inspired by Mando and Grogu. So players that log in will be able to receive the Probe Droid Mini Pet, which is inspired by Mando and Grogu, which we'll show you in a second. And then anyone who has an active sub will receive a mount. So here you can see the mount and Mini Pet together.
And they don't actually work. They just sit there.
Correct. The mount does not work. It's one of those mounts that we built just for fun. Yeah. Yep.
So you don't get to see. You just get to sit there.
Yeah.
Just
We
like
thought
a
it'd be.
log.
It's kind of like, well, I mean, in the last movie, his ship broke, and if you get the droid, it fixes it.
You can see how it's in that now.
It's actually fixing it, yeah. And obviously, we're just
Hey,
joking.
look, now all of a sudden it's not working.
We're obviously, so, again, Keith and I are spending too much time together lately, and this is what you get. These are all completely normal things. Do not listen to anything that we say. You get a normal mini pet and a completely normal mount, both inspired by Mando and Grogu, which we're super excited about. So once again, to reiterate, Probe Droid Mini Pet is for anybody who logs in during that 3-week window, and the mount is for anyone who has a sub during any time during that window. Is how you get them.
So just log in.
Yep.
While you
Okay.
log in, you might as well play.
Super quick recap. Legacy Reborn. It's the finale. Get it. Go get it. And if you're like, if you have not caught up, it's a great time to catch up because you'll have some time. We'll talk about when Legacy Reborn's coming in a second. We have quality of life improvements. We have updates to Wreckage on Dantooine, and of course the change to the companion terminal. PvP Season 10 is coming with some really awesome rewards. Very excited for you to see the armor set, so make sure to stay tuned for when the article comes out because one of my favorite armor sets. It'll go very nicely with the new weapons that we have coming, I think, as well. Return of Nar Nightlife with some new decos to earn. Sweet stuff coming to the cartel market, including Naga Sadow's Fortress Blade, which is so cool, and the Mando and Grogu inspired weapons, and some other stuff coming that we'll show later when we get to the cartel market article. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Updates on Galactic Season 11 coming in 791.
Yep.
It's good that I talk quickly.
I was gonna say you're doing that really fast.
That's what I do. It's in small font size. For some reason, it makes me feel like I have to talk
Talk really
quickly.
fast. And like,
Blah!
yeah, if you see it, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Right?
DX12. It's almost like I'm reading a disclaimer to like medicine that they need to take or something. I don't know what's going on. DX12, as we talked about, please go read the article that's already on SWTOR.com.
And I look forward to the technical test.
Right, exactly. And then we just talked about first stuff coming in 8.0. So just real quick recap of that. We're going to level 85. You should expect new abilities. You should expect new stuff coming for every discipline, along with updates surrounding that. New era of storyline,
planet.
new gearing system. You should expect a new 3-boss operation coming in Story Veteran, and of course we're going to Ryloth with new dynamic encounters, and more
And that's just beginning.
in yellow boxes.
Let's go. Someone's asking you to talk slower.
I can't.
Because their Twitch drop is only at 93%.
And to May the
Yep.
4th rewards.
Yep. I can tell you a 20-second story related to that to give them up to 95%, which is just some real crazy thing happened when I was much younger and I had to testify in court, real thing that happened. And the judge asked me to talk slower because the stenographer couldn't keep up. It's a real thing that happened in my life. So I feel you, Twitch drop person. That's absolutely true. Don't worry, this is more time.
And you can always replay this, right?
That's true. You go watch one of our content creators. It's anything on SWTOR. You shouldn't fill it just with us. Fill it with beautiful SWTOR content. May the 4th rewards. Log in to get the box droid. Sub to get the mount. Obviously, you should get both of them because they're awesome and they work together along with all of the other stuff that's
we
going
haven't
on
told
in
him
that
when it
window.
was coming out.
I know it's another bullet.
It's not there.
Oh, well, I bet he's gonna press a button and it may be appear.
Look at that.
Yep.
Right?
Bam. Okay. So Legacy Reborn, we're targeting an end of May
Trying to
launch.
hiss, but I couldn't do it.
And you gotta go hissis. There's an I in it. It's a hissis.
Okay.
So we're targeting end of May for Legacy Reborn.
End of May.
Yeah.
We can't be more specific than that.
I mean, we can. We're just it just says targeting.
Do you all want to know the actual
Oh
date?
no. Oh no.
Are they saying anything? Okay, see, it's obviously not live, right? Because you guys would, right?
I like how your new system on the streams is to now yell at them that they're not live.
Well, they're
you're
not
like
live,
you
right?
you're like
Obviously
you don't
it's not
tell
live,
me I'm
because
not
if the chat is
live.
right, I'm asking them
You're
to
not
wanna know
live.
the date, and they're not even responding, right? So I guess you don't want to know that it's the end of the month,
Yeah.
right? End of the month is how many days in this month?
I
31?
didn't know how many days were in April like one slide ago. You're
And we-
asking the wrong person.
And we know that Memorial Day is when? Usually on a Monday, right?
Brooks's head is in his hands.
I know, he's going, oh my God, right? Is he really going to tell him that it's not the Tuesday, right after Memorial Day? So that must mean that it's either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, because that's the end of May. So you guys can figure that out.
Yeah.
Not only that, we even gave you a hint in the game, or in the presentation, where you said 6 weeks, starting with August 11th, backwards, you can probably figure it out.
I think that event starts the beginning of June though.
Yeah, that event starts.
Yeah, so usually release before,
Okay,
Okay, there we go.
no, see, look at this guy.
hint, hint.
Look at this guy. All right, so but before Keith just gives you more logic puzzle to hone in on the date. So that's going to do it for us for today. We do have one more thing.
One more thing.
So before we leave you with that, though, thank you very much for coming to the 7-9 live
That's right,
stream.
thanks.
Again,
Thanks for being part of the tour environment.
yeah,
Right.
we're so excited for 7-9. Please definitely jump in and play the finale. We're very excited about it. Thank you for joining us for first details, 0 details, second details on 8.0.
Possibly third.
Possibly third, whatever.
We'll see what it is next time.
Yeah, we'll see what it is next time. We're very excited to talk about it. But before we leave you, if you remember, when Ashley and I were talking, we did allude to that one of the things that was really cool about 7-9 and the finale that we're excited about is that you kind of get to experience it through a lot of unique gameplay, see it from a lot of unique perspectives, right? That was the thing that was really cool.
Yep.
Cool. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Let's see if you can figure it out.